Let's give her a shot. Welcome back to the Ben and Rich YouTube channel. Well guys, it's the time you've all been waiting for. And I have not been waiting for. We are gonna put a clutch pedal in the old Crown Victoria. I'm not the most excited about this. Everything else has been gravy train, right? We're just putting a motor in a car. Well, now we get to go into uncharted waters. Now, I know a lot of you have maybe seen Crown Vics with stick shifts, and they use a T5 out of a Mustang and a Mustang cable, pedal, clutch thingy, and all that good stuff. That's not us. We're gonna put a hydraulic clutch in out of something. We have yet to figure out what's going in. I know that we gotta get the steering column pulled out of here. We gotta pull out the factory pedal assembly. Maybe we'll go for an F-150 or a Ford Ranger or something of that nature. Undiscovered yet. So we're gonna head out to Wolverton's here in a little while. We're gonna see what he's got and see if we can dig up a pedal assembly. I know we're on the hunt for a smaller brake booster. Rumor has it we can use the Bubble Vics, like a 92 to 02 before they went to like a Watts-Link rear suspension, and we use a non-ABS one. We can get a smaller booster and all that good stuff. And maybe we'll set up a deal on a rear end if he's got one too. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Let's go now. Guys, we finally made it to the junkyard, if you can see. We've been scouring trucks. We had this idea. We're like, you know what? A Ford F-150 or something like that would be perfect for this clutch pedal assembly. No. So they're aluminum, lesson learned. We've been looking at other options, trying to find something that's going to be easily adaptable. So I think we found it. And it's going to be unique. You're going to laugh because it's like, you know what? Why the hell would you look here? But hey, it's an option. So we found ourselves a Colorado, like an 05 Colorado. So let me show you this pedal assembly. This might be for anybody that's doing a stick shift swap. This is about the coolest pedal assembly I've seen so far, and it's completely separate from everything else. Let me see if I can get you a good shot here. You look under there, there's literally 4 bolts and then a square hole for the slave cylinder. How freaking cool is that? And the reservoir is attached. Oh man, look at the radio, guys. These people are fancy. Yeah, so we did find a 97 LTD as well, Crown Vic, whatever. That does have a smaller booster, so we're gonna probably rob that master cylinder and booster. Since ours was garbage anyways, and big. And then I think we're gonna take the pedal out of this dude. This thing is perfect, I think. It's gonna be 4 bolts, and then we just bolt on any flat surface, and we got a clutch pedal. Then we're not having to worry about reinforcing the firewall or anything, or I mean, I'm really feeling optimistic, guys. This is pretty awesome. So let's get some tools and get to getting. All in the name of fun, guys, I tell you. But we got this thing. Wait to see this. I just got it loose. Oh, what do we got? Another switch up there. Stuff is nasty. That is perfect, guys. I wanted to show you that. How awesome is that? It's going to bolt right up nice. We're going to use the slave cylinder or the clutch master out of this, and it's completely isolated from other pedals. So if you ever instead of buying a Willwood, guys, you get yourself a Colorado. Let's get this slave cylinder out. Master, the master. I keep saying slave, the master cylinder. All right, so these things here, they work really easy, guys. You just twist them out. So I cut the line. I wanted to show you how easy they come out of here. And if I can get it out. There it is. So we'll have to deal with this nylon line. I think our other one has one at home. But yeah, just a 1/4 twist. That's freaking awesome. So we just gotta make sure we got a nice square hole, and then we're in. Now we just pull a brake booster. All right, guys, we found ourselves a 97 Crown Vic. It might be a Grand Marquis, whatever, but so we've been really pondering disc brake in the rear of this car, just because that's the way to go. But so all the research we did is if we find a 92 to 02 Crown Vic LTD, whatnot like that, they have a smaller brake booster if we find a non-ABS car, so we can use the brake booster, the master cylinder, and all that stuff. And it's already disc brake, so that means we get the proportioning valve and all that to run disc brakes. So we're gonna see if we can move this car real quick to get to it, but I'll show you under the hood. Now, it's not the most aesthetically appealing brake booster, but it'd be a good core if we need to get a new one. But you guys seen that big honking when we got this thing's about 8 inches. Plus it's got a master cylinder on it that's in a little bit better shape. So we'll go ahead and clip them lines. Wayne's gonna go ahead and move it for us so we can get away from this hay rake here, or whatever the hell this thing is. I know you tractor guys will tell me, but at least that way we can get the door open. Then we'll check the gear ratio too, because we found out our LTD has a 308 gear. Probably not gonna work. So I'm hoping this car is probably, I mean, if it's 342, we might just leave it, but I don't know. We'll see here in a few. Let's get her moved. All right, you got it moved for us. In the name of doing cool shit, some of this stuff sucks, guys. This car is nasty. Nasty, nasty. All that to save a couple $100, you know? The shit we do to be cheap, right? So, yeah, this thing is definitely, deployed the airbags, definitely pretty nasty. What did I get myself into? All right, so we're Louise under the dash. We got our 4 bolts out. We're gonna try to pull that plastic piece we broke out of the other one out of the other car. But yeah, she is, well, unless I snagged something here, but she's coming out. Whew, that was a struggle. All right, guys, we were able to save the plastic spacer out of this one. And honestly, this pedal assembly, well, ours supports the steering column, but I grabbed this one just in case because, you know, we had to take it out anyways. So, man, guys, it's been fun out here to the yard. I pulled this master cylinder off. Check this out. I don't think that's ever gonna work. All right, guys, I want to show you this booster here. We're trying to get that out of the way, and then also we're trying to pull the pedal assembly out. We're getting rid of the booster anyways because garbage, right? I mean, you guys seen that a minute ago. And then time to get this, you know, the pedal assembly out. So we're getting to that. We're working on that, and it's a pain in the ass. I want to show you real fast. So on top of everything clustered here, you got a couple bolts that are easy to get to, and then you got one that's just way up there. But you notice we moved that computer. I mean, that gave us a ton of party room. So I think what we're gonna do next, we gotta get that bolt out, and then this column assembly, again, we gotta change the column, so we're going to pull that out, guys. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if she comes out. Son of a biscuit, we got it. Holy crap. Look at this ginormous POS, man. She was welded in there. Look at all that room for activities now. I almost worry we should go Hydro Boost, you know? Don't need that anymore. We might as well do the easiest part first, you know? Pull off our bolt down here. That was one of the things we struggled with the yard, is we decided to sawzall it because the booster is in the way. But now that it's wide open, we'll do it the right way. All right, so they already busted the column, all the hell, guys. I showed you that in a past video. So we got that minty fresh Lincoln one that's blue that ain't gonna match nothing, but it'll be okay. So most of the stuff is already unplugged. We just get the benefit of unplugging the last couple things, and then I think we got a few bolts, and hopefully be coming out of here in a few seconds because there's no shifter hooked up, so we ain't dealing with that. All right, pedal assembly, check. All right, we got the old Colorado pedal. I want to bring you along for that. So what I ended up doing is I kind of pulled a little more of the wiring out, but I wanted to bring you along for where we're at right now. It might work, I don't know. So what we got going on, I pulled all this stuff through the firewall. So this is, I mean, honestly, not bad on Ford's part. That's our whole dash harness. The headlight harness pops through the firewall. We got that brake booster removed like you saw. So look at all the room we got for a clutch pedal, guys. I mean, so right here, obviously, we got to leave our brake booster alone, but this thing is just way smaller. I'll grab the other one and do a comparison before we bolt it in. So the old computer popped through here, which we don't have anymore, and then our harnesses. We had a headlight harness, the main harness for the wiper motor, like the body harness, and then, I don't know, some other harness. So, yeah. Now we get to put a pedal in. So I did go ahead and kind of just set it up in there, give you kind of an idea. I just ran a couple self-tappers just to kind of get it in the area, but there is a pedal box in the car now. So I'm really thinking we're gonna have to actually, and I was hating the idea of doing this, but I think we're gonna have to cut the firewall out. It just gets super sketch. Jeez, I'm gonna get you entangled. It just gets super sketch welding with carpet and everything in the car. So I don't know if we're gonna pull the carpet back or what we're gonna do quite yet. That's what we're here to figure out. So we gotta get the pedal, brake pedal assembly kind of set in there and see where it lines up with the clutch. I think we just gotta start. All right, so the one thing I want to start with, when we were out to the junkyard, we grabbed the pedal pad off of the brake on the off the Colorado. So we're gonna go ahead and micro size the pedal off our LTD, and that'll give us a better, we want to make sure our pedal spacing is good. So before I go cutting anything and modding anything, I'm gonna do the easy stuff first. So we're gonna get the pedal assembly modded, then we know kind of where the clutch pedal is. I mean, I got big feet, so, you know, maybe we want to make sure they, well, we fit in the car, right? So let's get to cutting on this and get this going. That is quite a bit smaller, folks. It's gonna be interesting. All right, guys, she fits, but like I was saying, I think we're gonna have to kind of flatten these edges out. You see what it's doing there? It's kind of hanging over. So I'm gonna heat them up, whack them flat, cut her back, you know. Probably fit a little better. See if we can get that happen. You can get the idea of what we're doing. And then that'll give us, like I said, the up for the other pedal. So let's get this thing fitting good. All right, pedal pad is on. Wanted to show you guys the brake booster differences here. Put in perspective for you. That one rolls away from me, but frees up a ton of room for that clutch pedal assembly. So let's get under the dash, see if we can get that dude fixed up a little more, see what we got to do. Now that we got the brake pedal pad mounted, we can all right, so I loosely bolted our brake pedal back in here since we got that pad on there and cut down. And you can see we're gonna have to, I almost think they're too far apart. I might have to mount the gas pedal back in there to kind of get perspective, but man, I don't know. And now that's, like I said, we just got a couple self-tappers kind of just holding that up in the corner, because we got to figure out a more professional way to mount it. But I'm kind of digging where it's at. Now you see this pedal does hang lower. Benefit of this being steel, if we cut this off here, we can always shorten it or adjust accordingly to match this, because obviously the brake pedal is what it is, so we want to match that, because obviously that's what part of the car came with, you know. So yeah, undecided yet, but I think I'm going to pull them self-tappers loose and maybe move it over, because if we heat this up, we could probably heat this up and bend it and bring it over here more, but then it's more side load. So I think moving that whole pedal assembly might be easier, and then we may not have to screw with those big wiring harness holes. Let's pull her loose. So what I was thinking, guys, is now we can move it up like this, and then we could easily weld this, and even if we were really worried about it, we put a bolt through there or something. And it'll still be strong. Yeah, we may lose a pedal, might be a little harder to push. You know what I'm saying? But it's got strong legs. All right, let's check that out. All right, now that we got our newly revised clutch pedal, the old lock and pliers on there holding the height, you can kind of see, and we need to come up quite a bit more too. That is going to be one hell of a pedal to push down. There we go, that's looking symmetrical. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and, probably tack weld that on there, and then, yeah, I don't know, we might leave that pedal right off for now, get this dude mounted, and then we can always pull it back off to weld that pedal assembly on there. Yeah, that'll probably be the next step. Get this box mounted and start working out this firewall area. Well, I think what we're gonna have to do, guys, I was pondering and racking my brain, and there's nothing flat on that firewall. So I got a piece of scrap steel from another project laying around. I think what we're gonna do is just make a, kind of like a plate that this all bolts to, that we gotta cut a square hole anyways for our slave, or master, excuse me. And then once I get all that mounted up to this, then we just gotta figure out how to weld this into that. I think it'll just make things easier, guys. That's what I'm gonna go with. And then at least that way, I'm filling in that hole where the old computer was. And if I put it in the right spot, I don't need to deal with the holes for the grommets. What are you gonna do? You gotta get custom sometimes, so let's do it. So I'm figuring we're gonna go like a 10x8, just to give us some wiggle room, because once we do that, then we can mod this up. And I think we're gonna have to do like a 90 degree on here, because we're gonna have to make it flat by the brake booster. So, yeah, I guess we probably wanna make sure this center in our you know, our area, we'll just kind of eyeball it a little bit. So that's our firewall, guys. So again, I mean, this is what we're kind of worried about. And if we don't have hydraulic pressure, so is it gonna flex? You know what I mean? There's no real pressure. So I don't know that part yet. So now we have a clutch pedal. You can see it's squirting fluid out even. She's a squirter. So, all right, final call, guys. So I bored a couple holes. I got it bolted up. So I did use just the regular firewall, but we were talking it was kind of thin. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna double up the firewall. So we're gonna use that piece of metal I made in addition to this guy here. So we'll end up bolting that plate in this area, additional, and then this will give us our double thickness for the clutches, because realistically, it's gonna end up right here. You guys see where the cutout is for it? All right, so I got her twisted in, and I'm gonna have to bang the wall in a little bit more, but that is looking sweet, guys. That's looking damn near factory. All right, guys, I wanted to show you a cool little trick I learned. We're trying to make a template for our hole we gotta fill. So it is recessed, so it makes it kind of nice. So we're gonna take a piece of masking tape, and you'll see kind of what we're doing here in a second. I like to take a pencil and kind of trace it. And honestly, your pencil sharp enough, it'll kind of cut the tape. It's not the most efficient, but it's better than trying to, you know, go in here and just try guessing. At least this way we can lay this on a piece of metal, cut it out, and it should be close enough where the old welder will fill her in. Transfer it to a piece of metal. I know it's not the most efficient, but I'm gonna go ahead and tidy it up with a razor blade, but you'll get the idea. I mean, at least that way we got a general size. We're not trying to sit there with a tape measure. And we can always flap disc it to fit, but that way it'll be a lot quicker, you know? So just a little bit of finessing. And we'll be able to test fit our unit. Yeah, like I said, just, all right, a little bit of flap disking, guys. Check this out. What I was going for. We got our new filler plate. And then what we're gonna do is we'll, like I said, we'll go ahead and just tack weld around that. And then you won't even tell. That's the plan. And then we'll... All right, guys, I got a fire blanket down inside. And we're really not welding inside. There might be some residual sparks, but we got our fire extinguisher handy, so let's give her a shot. Now remember, guys, you want to just do tacks. It's like doing body work. Well, guys, that's been a struggle, but I got the firewall looking where it needs to. Check that unit out. Looks factory. Clutch pedal is in. We're just kind of modifying the height of the pedal. If you look down here, we're just kind of, we're going to have to cut it off and weld it, but... All right, guys, so we got the brake booster in and all that stuff. I wanted to show you that. I started laying the column out. This is what you guys got to look forward to if you decide to pull a column out of a 80s Ford car, because, you know, by all means, you don't, you know, you can't just unplug one plug at the bottom, but, you know. So, check this out. New brake booster in. We fogged all that stuff satin black. Laying out nice, and I mean, doesn't that look, it just fits right in there. You can't even tell we hack and whacked the old firewall. So now we're trying to get the column wrapped up, and sadly, guys, all that stuff needed to get done first before we could even try starting this car. We had no way to, we had no ignition switch, no steering, none of that stuff. So I mean, yeah, we could have jumpered the ignition or something like that. We could have figured it out, but it's has 2 pedals, guys, 3 pedals. Check that out. Let me get some of this stuff out of our way here. We got that dude modified. She's got 3 pedals. How freaking cool is that? It's coming along. Get this bad boy wrapped up. We took a little break from it. We got a few other things done. We were waiting, guys, for a special line. So let me show you. So it is a Chevy Colorado pedal assembly, and who would have thought that it had a unique fitting at the Clutch Master? So, brand called Fabit Engineering. Not a sponsor, but you know, hey, if you guys are watching, they make a nice AN line that is going to plug right in to our Clutch Master. A lot of them LS Swap guys using the AR5 transmission, that kind of stuff, that's what that's for. So we got that piece. It took us a little over a week to get it, so we're getting back to things. But it is time to run it, and we're going to see if we can get this clutch pedal working, because it is in, guys. It is in. All right, guys, so this unit here, we got a 24-inch piece on there. We're gonna add another 36-incher. We're gonna take this off. I just think it's gonna help. I mean, worst case, it's too long and we just change the line. But we're gonna start off with a longer one. And then I wanted to show you how this thing just snaps in. I mean, it is super slick. As we get our new line, we're going to tighten them up here in just a hot second. But down here, we got it ready. Hopefully, it's supposed to just pop right in there. And that's it. Well, that wasn't slick as snot. So, all right, yeah, you'll see what's gonna happen now. Now we got our heat sleeve on this one. We're gonna run it up along the back of the bell housing, pop it out down by the transmission. All right, so we changed out the line for the 24-inch, back for the 24-inch, and it lays right on the transmission, just nice. And we got our pre-made bent line there. I'm just gonna tie in here, guys. If we run the other cable, I mean, if we got one with like a 90 or a bend, it might be okay. And again, this is probably gonna be permanent, but if it doesn't work, we could always use a fitting and maybe a longer line and route it differently. So I think it's gonna be just fine. And we'll go ahead and we'll tie this down, maybe to like this stud with a P-clamp or something, just so it can't go nowhere. But let me show you what fittings we got. I just got a regular AN brake line adapter. And then of course it's -3, so we had to get a 1/4-inch brake line to 3/16 adapter. We're gonna thread into this unit. It's tacky, but it'll work. All right, you can see what we did here. Ran our line, got our adapter. Get these wires out of our way. And again, guys, it's tacky, I know. But I'm just concerned with the AN line running up here and us having clearance issues, because this is really close. I mean, you see we already ground the hell out of the oil pan. Just so we can run an MV3500, right? Again, yeah. So, yeah. Let's figure out a way to fasten it. And then I think we can get our starter and stuff in. But we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this clutch working. At least we have this fancy access hole so we can kind of see what's going on. Once we get that action moving, no stopping us. All right, see if we can make it in the hole. We do got the bleeder open right now. It is kind of gravity bleed. Which all by all means, you can't just gravity bleed it. But at least this way it'll get something in there. And we're gonna go underneath, and I'll show you there's a little hole on top with an Allen wrench. It fits in there. It kind of sucks, but that's what you gotta do. So let me get underneath there real quick. You can see that line did lay out nice. We're gonna do something and tie it up on the back of the head so it's not rubbing on our steering shaft. But let's get underneath and see the fun stuff. All right, Allen wrench fits right up in this dude here. Now she's tight. All right, Dad, go ahead and pump it. All right, guys, we're working like a brake pedal. It's not exactly the same, but it'll at least get the gist of it going. And then sometimes you gotta kind of just open the bleeder, push it to the floor, that kind of stuff. These things take a lot of screwing around. But let's see, as long as we don't get a shot to the face of brake fluid. Go ahead and hold it.
I am.
All right, go ahead and pump it. Well, we can hear fluid moving, guys. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but oh shit, it's already working.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that wasn't so bad at all.
But
We're gonna bleed it out a couple more times, make sure you get no more air, but hell, guys, I think that's a win. All right, guys, that's what 3 pedals looks like in a Crown Vic. You can see we did cut the brake pedal down. Got that looking good, matched up with the clutch pedal. We did shorten it a little bit as well. Got her bolted up there. It worked out pretty decent, but by all means, you better have a hell of a leg, because this thing shortening that pedal up a couple inches, oof, I don't know. It's a little, almost as stiff as my buddy's CTSV with the dual monster clutch setup in there. So I don't know. It'll be all right though. You know, I mean, it's only 300, 400 horse with a, you know, stock S10 tranny and a Colorado clutch pedal and an LTD. So what could go wrong? On that note, guys, we appreciate you for tuning in. This one's been kind of a drawn out one here. We wanted to get this clutch pedal finished up for you and show you that action working. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thanks again.